How y'all doing? This is Nathaniel Swopes of Swopes Athletic Recruiting. I wanted to talk about how NBA players' sons are way better at playing basketball than ever before. Of course, we know Steph Curry is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But recently, one of my friends, Patrick Bell, we talked about how Carlos Boozer's son is ranked number one in 2025. We just saw Jabari Smith be drafted number two in the NBA draft this past season. And, when you think about the NBA players of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even the early and some of the players in the early '90s, we really never heard about their sons playing basketball. It's a thought now. How come these NBA player sons are so good now? Is the grassroots level just better? Is training just better? Or are NBA players spending more times with their children? But we're seeing such an influx of NBA player sons into the NBA. Scottie Pippen Jr. is playing amazing. He had an amazing summer league, and there's just been more and more of NBA players' sons being, drafted into the NBA and playing well into the NBA. Gary Payton's son, he had an amazing run with Golden State. He's now playing with the Portland Trail Blazers. And also in this year's NBA draft, not only are so many NBA players' sons were, taken or signed with free agency, we also had Shaquille O'Neal's son signed to the Summer League team with the Lakers. But also, we've seen a lot of players from two-parent homes drafted or signed in this year's NBA. So we didn't really have too many players coming from single-parent homes as much as we used to. There's not too many of those stories of how they kind of made it out from the ground up, raised by a single mom, similar to like the LeBron James story, and more so of those stories are coming from overseas or players from Africa, not more so single parent, but just how they grew up poor and how to make it out, and they made it to the NBA from another country or Africa. We have seen more NBA teams uh, take chances on NBA players' sons or take chances on players coming from two parent homes now, and one of the reasons is, why do we think this is happening? You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you all think to why this is happening. I know when I talked to my friend Patrick, he really feels that the training is better. A lot of these players' sons, they have the money to get the best trainers and be worked with. Not only, AAU is huge now. They can join the top AAU teams. They can have the best trainers and have the best trainers all year long. And so were NBA players' sons or daughters not uh, introduced to a lot of the trainers, or this is something that they just really didn't want to follow behind their parents? But nowadays we are seeing so many NBA players drafted into the NBA. So what I believe the training is better. I think there is, like, of course, the grassroots AAU scene is amazing, and a lot of those kids are exposed to the best because their parents have the money. And honestly, I don't think the NBA is trying to take chances on a lot of athletes coming from single parent homes as much as they used to. Not to saying these players are not good, but I don't think the NBA and a lot of NBA teams or minor professional teams, or NBA G League teams are taking more chances on players coming from single parent homes. We've just seen whether, like I said, this past year's draft was a lot of kids coming from two parent homes and a lot of NBA sons being drafted into the league. And like I said, I want to know what you all think. Why has the change happened? We've seen here in Chicago, we've seen a lot of coaches move from Chicago public school system to the suburbs or move to private institutions. So, why are our coaches or our trainers not putting as much time into the neighborhood kids coming from single parent homes as much as they used to? Recently we've seen a coach being shot and killed in the Dallas Fort Wayne area, and I mentioned in that video that I think we will start to see coaches not giving back to the community that they came from, and I think it's already happening, and I think it's already reached the top. The top is the NBA, and a lot of institutions and a lot of the teams or even the G League teams are not taking as many chances on athletes coming from single parent homes as they used to. And a lot of people who've made it to college or who wanted to give back to the community, to give back to a lot of the young men coming from single parent homes, whether they were talented athletes or not, we're just not seeing it as much. So, again, let me know what you all think. Why has the change happened? Is this good or bad for the NBA and or NBA or G League? Let me know what you all think. You all have a great day.